shush you, go away, you dirty gypsies.
At 5 years old, Toby learned the world already had a story about who he was.
You move differently, you shift differently, you behave differently. Everything about you becomes different because you become so vigilant to everyone around you.
When your difference is visible, or your brain experiences the world differently, safety can become a skill.
When I was 11 years old, I was attacked by 3 skinheads and I was in a coma as a young child.
At 11, he survived what should have ended him.
I made a promise to myself that I'm never going to allow anyone to feel like I did.
He chose love as a response.
Unconditional love. Because everybody else has conditions. And just being, do you know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing. Just be, nothing else.
At the core of his work is love of self. Not earned, not performed, just inherent.
The beautiful 8 pillars.
Out of trauma, he built the Gorniak Method, a framework rooted in culture, resilience, and 8 transformative pillars.
Every human being has a genius. You just haven't discovered it yet.
What happens when we stop trying to fix the person and start honoring their culture, their identity, and their genius? Hi, it's Joy. I'm the host of the Joy of Neurodiversity podcast. I'll be in Austin, Texas, March 9th to the 12th for South by Southwest EDU 2026. And live from the stage in Waterloo Ballroom 3 at 4 p.m. on March 9th with Krista Hopp, Dane Ray, and the Honorable Janet Buckner. We'll see you there. Hey, it's Joy, and this is the Joy of Neurodiversity podcast. Here we break down stereotypes, celebrate the brilliance of different minds, and get real about what it actually means to be neurodivergent. Because at the heart of it all, neurodiversity isn't just a concept, it's people. It's lived experiences, challenges, strengths, and the stories that connect us. Whether you're here to learn, feel seen, or reimagine what's possible, you're in the right place. By pressing play, you're choosing to embrace a new way of thinking, one that honors every brain for what it brings. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to the Joy of Neurodiversity. Today's conversation is about people who don't always fit into systems and what happens when we stop trying to fix the person and start honoring their culture, their identity, and their genius. Today, I am joined by Toby Gorniak, MBE, someone who has dedicated his life to advocating for people who don't quite fit the system, grounding his work in Roma and building frameworks that put humanity first. Toby, I'm so excited about this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you.
Oh, I just want to welcome you. And there is so much that I could say about you. Your work spans classrooms and communities around the world. You're a specialist in autism and ADHD and complex behaviors. You've given TED Talks. You have a Netflix feature. You've received the Nelson Mandela Award. I can go on and on and on about that, but I've since, in the brief conversations I've had with you, is that that's not really what drives you to do what you do.
No.
I could tell. You're just like such a genuine human. If we could, I'd like to just jump right in. Can you take me back to the beginning? I would love for people to learn a bit more about you. So who were you before all the awards, before the framework, before the stages, and how did you come to where you are to be the man you're sitting here today being?
Thank you. Thank you, Joy. So my journey starts in Poland. I was born in Poland, a city called Bielsko-Biała. And I remember being 5 years old. It was one of my first moments where me and Mum went to the local market to buy some veg. So we're in the line, stood there in the line, and there's people in front of us, people behind us, and we are next. And as we came to the line, this man right in front of us went, "Shoo, go away, you dirty gypsies." And I was like, whoa. And my mum went, quick, just go. And I was like, how did he know? How did he know? And then my mum went, "It's your skin." and you can't hide it, and you're going to experience this for the rest of your life. And I remember being 5 years old going, but I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, why did he treat us like this? And then the walk home with my mum is the first time she explained to me racism, skin color, my culture, the difference, how different we are and how visible we are. And I'm going to experience this for the rest of my life. That was my beginning of being aware, being 5 years old, being aware that I am different, and I'm going to have to deal with this for the rest of my life. The one thing I was really confused for me was, well, I'm a good boy. What did I do?
Yeah. I mean, I think that, growing up African American, like you know that the skin color to you doesn't make a difference, but to
Yeah,
other people it does. But I don't know a ton about Roma culture, and I know you're going to tell us
yeah,
a bit more. But yes, there's something so visceral about knowing that someone is going to not like you simply because of the way that you look,
yes.
but then also knowing that there is absolutely nothing you can do to change it, and the feeling of shame that brings you, and at no, it's not your fault. You can't do anything about this. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the hardest part. What happens then is you move differently, you shift differently, you behave differently. Everything
mm,
about you becomes different because you become so vigilant to everyone around you because you
yes,
know how people perceive you. And you know that any moment in time, danger could be right there.
absolutely. So can you tell me a little bit more about the Roma culture? In the beginning, we talked about or Roma honor or Roma Nipen. Tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about the Roma culture so people can, because I know that it's deeply rooted in everything that you do. So I want
Oh,
people to
it's
understand it.
yeah, our culture's beautiful. Our culture is based on respect. So we
Mm,
have a way of life. And for us as God, your parents, your brothers and sisters, cousins, and then your community. And you have a deep responsibility to the community. So I could go anywhere in the world, and if I meet a Roma person, and imagine I just got lost, I'm out there in the world, I don't know nobody, I don't know how to, and I got no money, I got nothing. All I need to find is a Roma person. They'll
mm.
give me food, they'll give me shelter, and they'll help me.
It's so beautiful. Tell me about the history of it, because I thought that I knew, and like I've heard about travelers. But you've told me things that I'm just like I didn't even know, like where the traveling culture originated.
Yeah,
I think I even told you when we were planning for the podcast that
yeah,
I wasn't even sure if gypsy was considered to be a derogatory
yeah,
term. So
yeah.
a brief history, I think, would be
I'll give
helpful.
you a quick throwdown. So none of it is 100%. This is because we only know a little bit, and we're still learning. People are still researching, and people are still kind of developing new kind of stories and everything else that happened with our community. So far, what we know, we originate from India,
Okay.
and from India, our communities have dispersed through hundreds of years, and they've travelled right through to Europe. So this is where I was born. This is where my family comes from. A lot of our language is very related to Punjabi language, so there's a
Okay.
lot of similarities, and that's where the historical research found us that our language is the thing that kind of binds us together. And they've done a lot more research, and there's a lot more stuff happening now where we're learning and we're learning more about where we came from, why, what happened, where did we travel, where did we go, what happened with our community. But our community has always traveled. Our community has always been together. Our community language only is being passed on from parent to child. So it's
Okay.
only passed on verbally. We haven't written it down. It's only passed on verbally all around the world.
Really? Still.
Still to today. Still to today.
Mm,
So people have written it down, but it's not public.
mm.
So lots of our language is secret and is kept to ourselves. And this language has saved hundreds of thousands of Roma when we had Hitler and a lot of our Roma were in the camps. This helped a lot of our Roma to survive because we could communicate without anyone knowing what we're saying. So
Yeah.
we could protect each other, help each other by having our own language. And this is why even to today is even more important for our community to kind of keep our language to ourselves just in case anything else like that happens again, so we can protect ourselves and we can help each other. But today is the world where I see it, where I would love for our people to share our language, share our culture with the world, to show the world how beautiful and amazing we are as people. We're not just the negatives that you might see on TV, newspapers, or socials. We are good people too.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about that because, I mean, obviously, I cannot imagine anyone meeting you and feeling like there was a single bad ounce in your body. I can't imagine that. But I know that there's a lot of stereotypes and stigma that are attached to the Roma culture. You're even telling me just the name gypsy comes from like thief or something of that.
Yeah.
Something. Yes.
Yeah, so historically, the name Gypsy comes from the Egyptian. So when our first people came around, they thought we were the Egyptians. So we were called the Egyptians. After a while, we became the fake Egyptians. And then the stigma came to the thief, the criminal, the liar, and that kind of got stuck in with the name Gypsy.
Okay.
And then this terminology around Europe is another term. It's called Tsigan. And Tsigan means to lie, to cheat. So then this is another description. So this description is the same as in English, same as it is in European. It's got the same terminology, which means criminal means something bad. It's got a negative understanding to it. This is how people perceive us. So before people have the chance to meet me, and as you say, maybe when people meet me, they know I'm not. But before they meet me, and if someone says, "Oh, you're going to meet this gypsy guy from Poland," people go, "Whoa, who is he?" Do you know what I mean? Sometimes my image, I know my image can be sometimes quite scary because it's different. To some people, might be, oh, this guy looks cool. But to some people, like, oh, this is a bit scary. This is different. And I think it takes time to break the barriers. And once people speak to me, once people see me and we have a conversation, people go, oh, actually, this guy's really nice. But it takes that time. I have to earn it. And that's my hardest part in the world that I work the hardest, which is, my mum always taught me this. As a Roma, you walk in a room, you have to be 10 times smarter, stronger, kinder, and better than everybody else just to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
And I live by that. And I think this is why I work so hard. And this is why my determination is so strong. Everywhere I go, I give so much more because of those principles. And I know they have value. And even, sad to say that 2026, we still have to do so.
Yeah.
That's the shame.
I was just thinking when you were saying what your mom told you about having to work, harder. We say it in the African American community as well. Like you have to work twice as hard to get half as much.
Yes.
But I also think it's why we come out on top as much as we do, because we know that we have to be better.
Yes.
We know that we have to work and prove ourselves, and we're fine with it because we rise and we do it.
We got to do what we got to do.
I can imagine. So if you were going to look at what people might think your culture and your values are compared to what you actually were taught and what you grew up knowing, like what if you were to think of the Roma foundation with your beliefs, what would you say those were?
So for me, the most important one is family. We have a strong value for family. And we have a strong value for the vulnerable because we know what it feels like. So anyone out there in the world, like I was just having a conversation with someone before, and one of the things we talked about, which was we always protected others. We always protected the vulnerable. Even when we are vulnerable ourselves, we still protected others. We still stand up. We still fight for others, fight for the right that people should be mistreated. This is something that I love about my culture. This strength, this honor in us to do the right thing. I love that about my culture, and family is the most important thing for me, and only because I've seen it and experienced it so much within my culture.
Yeah, we're going to talk about your family a bit later so that you can give us a little bit more information about them. I'd love to figure out what brought you to the work that you're doing, because the reason why I reached out, and I think where we both saw synergy is that we both work with communities and people who are often misunderstood on the margins. As someone that's neurodivergent, we don't fit into systems. We don't always fit into a mold. And I know that the work that you do really focuses on that. So I can imagine that there is something personally that drove you to that work naturally. So if you can tell me about that, and then we'll kind of work through this framework that you have developed, and please tell me how you got there and then what it is that you do, and then we'll talk about the framework.
Brilliant. So for me, the biggest thing was when I went to education, I didn't fit in at all. Not just because of my skin color or my culture or my belief that where I came from. There was more to it. And the more thing to it was I just didn't fit in. I didn't think like everybody else. I didn't process the world like everybody else. but nobody understood me. And everyone would always say that I'm stupid. Everyone would always say that I'll never achieve anything. I'll never become nothing because I couldn't do what they did.
Mm.
And because of that, I've learned to create my own systems. I've learned to work around the system.
Yeah.
I've learned to work through the system to be able still to do what everybody else was doing in the world. I just did it differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there allowed me to see other people, but truly to see them. To not for this what people pretend to be, but for truly who people are and what capabilities people have.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was more, but people told me I was less.
Mm.
And I was really conflicted with this because I know here I've got this feeling in my body, my chest, like I am more. I know I am, but everyone is telling me that I'm not. So I had to prove it, and it come out, and it come out in one of the most beautiful ways. So through my life, one of the big extreme things that has happened to me when I was 11 years old, I was attacked by three skinheads, and I was in a coma as a young child.
Oh.
I survived, and this was the main reason why my mother moved us to England for a better life, a safer life. This is
Okay.
what we're doing here. But this year had a huge impact on me because that taught me that any moment in time, anything can change.
Yeah. 11 years old.
11 years old, just a little boy with three grown men. And many times when me and my wife talk about it, she goes, "But what? Why?" And the most hardest part was that we found out later. It was they used a baseball bat to hit me.
What?
Like what? You know, you could just use your hand. You could just. Do you know what I mean? You are a grown man to a little 11-year-old boy, and that had a huge impact on me. And that again, it taught me to have more empathy. It taught me to be more aware and more conscious. And it's like, you know, now anywhere I enter, I'm like, where's the exits? Where's the doors? Who is what? I'm very vigilant, very
Yeah.
aware. But I think that vigilance allowed me to see human beings, see people's pain, see people's struggles, see how people learn differently, see how people develop. And knowing that if I give them that extra love and care, this
Mm.
person's going to flourish. This person's going to be who they're supposed to be and love who they are. And that's the biggest key for me. So because of my struggles and because of my difficulties that I had when I was younger, I didn't want no one else to feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
I made a promise to myself that I'm never going to allow anyone to feel like I did,
Yeah.
to feel lost and to feel forgotten and to feel given up on by the
Mm.
world. I wanted to be at least one person who believes in you, one person who says you're amazing, or one person who says I love you, or one person who says you're great. I'm going to be that. If that have to be, I'm going to be that for every person I meet. And I'm not going to give up. This is going to be my life's mission. And I didn't choose it. It just chose me. It just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I just fall in love with it. And I don't know what else I could be doing. This is like so natural. And it feels like every single day is a blessing. I get to live my life and I get to help others.
Yeah.
I get to help and see other people flourish and grow. This is my best thing. I love it. I'm like my wife says, when you do your stuff, you're just in the zone. You're like in the zone, and I'm just the happiest, like a kid in a candy shop. Do you know what I mean? Be able to help other people and to heal other people and to show them their potential. It is my favorite thing to do.
I can feel it now. And when I was just as you're talking, I'm thinking about those men who attacked you at 11, and almost like, you know what? Thank you. Not for the pain and the suffering, and I'm sure the worry and the hurt and the fear that your family had to work through, but thank you for that put you on the path to helping so many people.
Yeah.
And so in their hatred, so much love came out of that situation. Horrible situation, but not that I'm going to say I'm happy that it happened to you,
No.
but I think it just shows that love is always for me gonna overpower
Mm.
hate or ill intention, and they created in that act created someone that's going to touch so many more lives. So thank you
Yeah.
from that perspective, because they did the world a favor in
Yeah.
pushing you in that direction. Is it horrible that it happened to you? Absolutely. And I can't even imagine what you had to go through, what your parents had to go through to overcome that. But I'm so happy that you have. And you so
No.
what did that you have a company, so there's so many things that we can talk about, but I really
Yes.
want to get to the work and the heart of the work that you do.
Yeah.
And who do you uh who do you target? Because I know people might be like, okay, he's from the Roma culture, he's working with those students, but
Yeah.
you've gone beyond that. So beyond your community, which I love, but really brought your values to the work that you do.
Yeah.
So you're kind of taking the Roma culture with you everywhere that you
Mm.
go. So tell us a
Yes.
bit more about your organization and what you do.
So right now, my company is called the Gorniak Method, and the method's been running for 20 years. I've been refining, working, learning, upskilling, training, just doing everything I could to become better,
Mm,
to become that smarter, that better, that kinder, that more aware person, how I can help people faster. Because lots of times in the world it is about speed, what you can do for human beings.
yeah.
Sometimes I only have an hour with someone, and
Mm,
in an hour I have to be able to work magic. So
yeah.
sometimes you got to be a magician. And the most beautiful thing about this program and the system, it just works. It's just a
Mm,
beautiful thing. It just works.
yeah.
So now the Gorniak Method's been running for 20 years. We've been all up and down the country in England, around the world, traveling, showcasing, sharing our work. And my biggest thing is about transforming people. So
Mm,
my thing is about discovering your genius. I believe every human being has a genius.
yeah.
You just haven't discovered it yet. And just by having a little bit of help, assistance, courage, bravery, and love, you can achieve it and they can see it. And once you know your genius, then you live your best life because you
Yeah.
know who you are and you know your kind of purpose and your mission in life.
And
So
I
this is
love,
what kind of my work does the most, which is about helping people discover their genius and help people to fall in love with themselves. Like
yeah.
one of the biggest things, but like lots of times, like my mother-in-law always laughs at me because when you go into her house, one day she said, Toby, I bought these 3 mirrors. I need you to put them up. They were huge 3 mirrors. And as soon as you come in there on the side of the wall, as soon as I come in, I check myself out. I'm like, yeah, I look good.
I look good.
Because because it's important to be in love with yourself. And
Yeah.
this is what I teach people. Be in love with all of this. All of that you are. Because I always use this mythology. If I had a pair of Air Force Nikes and they were the only ones in the world, no one could have them again. How expensive, how precious would they be? Like
Mm,
millions. Well, no one else will have. I would want them, but there's only one of you,
yeah.
and this is how precious you are. But people don't see it. So my job sometimes, I think, to help people see the true them and how beautiful they are in the quirky, weird, different ways they are. Just
Yeah.
love this whole thing about yourself.
And what I think I really appreciate is that you're working with I mean, I know that you work with individuals
Yes.
across the range of age, but you really work with a lot of younger people. So being able to give that message to people at a younger age, like I wish that I had that. Like I wish that I mean, I definitely have a family that honors who I was and lifted me up in every way that they can. But you don't live inside that bubble. You're not always with your family, and if you don't have that self esteem, and especially like someone who grows up different with a mind that works a bit different, who struggles in school,
Yeah.
you already have so many negatives that are going through your head. So it's a hit on your self confidence. So having someone outside of your family, outside of your household teaching you these things is so valuable.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for me, one of the things I've learned was this, that we do depend so much on the outside of the world to acknowledge us, to see us, to love us, to like us. We do. But that's because from our childhood, we were trained so.
Yeah.
That is all our training. Like, one of the things I've learned to do is to change my mindset, how I teach my kids and how I allow my kids to feel. So imagine you drawing a picture. The first thing a child does when they draw a picture, Mummy, Daddy, what do you think? And the
Yeah.
first thing we learn to do is, what do you think?
Mm.
And they go, well, I like it. What do you like about it? I love the colors. Oh, describe the picture to me. Oh, it's a rainbow and there's unicorns and it's just like scribbles everywhere.
Yeah.
But the imagination is so beautiful. So like, what do you like about it? Why do you like it? And then we go, I like what you said.
Yeah.
So what we're teaching them, your opinion matters.
Yeah.
Because at the minute, we're all going outside. And we're going, when you get dressed up, you go, oh, what do you think? Well, when
Mhm.
I get dressed up, I look in the mirror and go, damn, I look good.
I look
And
good.
do you know what I mean? And it's this whole thing of, I don't care what everybody else thinks. I know I look good and I feel fly. Do you know what I mean? So when I walk in and enter somewhere, I'm like, I know I look good. And if
Exactly.
someone says that, I'm like, thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you for the
But do you
confirmation
know
of
what I
what
mean?
I already
I
know about
appreciate that,
myself.
yes. Do you know what I mean? but it doesn't matter because here it matters. Do you know what I mean? And this is what we teach. And with my granddaughter and everything, I'm teaching her. It's that whole, do you like it? Do you love it? Because, oh, Grandpa, what do you think of this? I said, I like it, but do you like it? That's the most important thing. But again, I've learned all these things by watching and observing people. And I think we all in the world would love to have somebody encouraging us, supporting us, believing us. That's really important.
It is.
Because the only thing in the world we need just one. That's all we need is just one. If we have just one, we can achieve the most incredible things. Because that's all I had. All I had was my incredible wife. She was just that one. She's that one who had my back all the way through my madness and my dreams and my ideas. Do you know what I mean? It was incredible. But having just that one is really, really special.
Absolutely. When you were talking, I was thinking about a story that I saw about. I don't know if it's a story that they just tell teachers. I don't know, but a student, and they were drawing a picture of a flower, and they made the flower like the way that they wanted it, and it was crazy colors and different shapes. And the teacher said, no, the way that you draw a flower is like you take the green stem and the red flower and you draw it like this. And so then they started drawing it that way, and then went to a new school where the teacher was like, draw the flower how you want it, like make your flower whatever you want it to be. And they drew the green stem and the red flower because someone had told them that their way wasn't okay.
And there's another similar story that me and my wife use very often when we teach in schools and stuff, about elephants. Why can't elephants be polka dots and rainbows? No, your elephant should be grey.
Yeah.
And that describes a lot of our arts education. But when we're talking about education and opportunities and be able to grow and flourish, is this? No. You're old enough now to know it should be grey.
Should be grey.
I know it's grey, but today, can I just have it polka dot?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm still a kid. I still want to express myself, still developing and learning. And I think that's the important thing. Allowing people to be a bit crazy, be a bit wild. Like I am. The way I live my life is crazy and wild. Do you know what I mean? And I'm so blessed that I get to do it. And I get to live this without having all these constraints and all these rules and regulations. This is what you're supposed to do. Well, really, the way I live, I'm very, very happy.
Oh, I can feel it. You keep giving me goosebumps. We're only like what 27 minutes in, and I'm just like, oh, like so much. Like I love it. But when I'm listening to you, I hear different threads. I can hear your values. I can hear your principles. They just keep on kind of showing up: respect and courage and love for yourself. And I know that you've articulated this in your 8 pillars. So can we get into learning what that is?
Yes, the beautiful 8 pillars. So it took me years to put this whole thing together.
Okay.
To kind of make sense, because lots of the things I just do them without being aware I do them. And I needed other people to observe me to go, Toby, you did this. I'm like, I wasn't aware of it. I just do it. To me, it becomes very natural. But I needed to be able to write them down, to be able to explain it to people so people can go, oh, if I do those, I could be somewhere around there and I could help somebody.
Yeah.
And it's just little guidelines just to help people where to go and what to do and what to say and how to work with people. So it's based on this. So number 1 is the fundamentals. It's the 5 elements.
Okay.
And the 5 elements are based on respect, peace, love, unity, and having fun.
Okay.
That's the 5 core principles. That's the hardcore stuff that you need first. But not only to know it, I love people to live it. So usually when I work with people, I say the first week, I would like you to write it down Monday to Friday, those elements. And I would like you to, at the end of the day, you need to number yourself how well you did. So it's about your reflection, not everybody else's. You. How was my day today? Was I respectful? Was I peaceful? Was I loving? Did I have unity? Did I have fun? And then you just write there 1 to 5, how well you did in those. And you do that for the week, which just makes you conscious and aware of everything that you're doing and how you're speaking and how you're moving through your life, to be more conscious to use them every single day.
Yeah. So we'll give a call.
One of the pillars. That's one of the pillars.
Anyone listening that needs to do that this week.
You can do that at home, on your own, with your family, and it becomes more fun when you do it with more people. So we always encourage to get other people involved because it makes it more fun. How did you do today? How did you do today? And then you all are counting yourselves, which is beautiful.
So then we have how did those 5 elements, how did they make the cut? How did you decide that those were your 5?
So for me, these elements came from hip hop culture.
Okay.
So for me, fundamentals of hip hop was peace, love, unity, and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Respect was a understanding fundamental, but I felt like sometimes you had to remind people. That's why I put respect back into it.
Yeah.
So the five core elements for me come from hip hop culture because hip hop culture gave me that. So when I
Mm.
entered the space, I was welcomed. People showed me peace. People showed me love, and allowed me to be me, which was the most beautiful thing I ever experienced.
Yeah.
So for me, it isn't just one culture. There's many cultures are involved in this creation of this, because this, like I said, it takes a village to bring up a person. Do you know what I mean? It takes a whole community. So it could be your mom, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your neighbor, the lady down the shop. Everyone plays a part of your growing up.
Yeah.
And if we all have that part where we play with those five elements and we all understand our culture, the person gets to grow and flourish.
Absolutely. And when you distill those down, they're non-negotiables, right?
It's it's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah. They have to. I remember like I was a teacher forever till I came out of the, well, not forever, but taught for so long. And every single year, you go through the whole situation when you're having your kids think that they're making the classroom rules when you already know what your rules are going to be.
Yes.
And I used the same poster every single year for my rules. I
Yeah.
just made them think that they came up with them. But my last rule was always have fun.
So important.
And the kids were like, why is that a rule? And I was like, because learning should be fun. And I think it really came from the fact that learning was not fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you have these five, your five elements, what
Then we
is
start
next?
the rest. So now the rest comes in. So
Okay.
the next one, I've got them all written down here to make sure I say them in the right order. They're very important in the order. So
Okay.
the next one is knowledge of self.
Okay.
You need to learn about you just for you, not for nobody
Mm,
else, just for the sake of you. So you know who you are. You know what everything about you. So really knowing yourself. Then the next one we have discovering your genius. And
mm-hmm.
this is the beautiful because once you know yourself, now it's time to discover what you like, what you
Okay.
love, what are you great at. And it's really asking and researching and watching people and letting other people watch you to tell you what you're great at. And then you pick those amazing little things that you go, yes, I'm really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when I discovered I was really good with people.
Yeah.
That's when I discovered I was great at lifting people up. I was great at inspiring, motivating, but creating action in people. And I was like, I'm really good at that. I
Yeah.
got this kid from here over there. Wow. I want to do more of that because I'm good at that.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of encouraged me is that discovering my genius. So I discovered my genius was about being able to help people and lift people.
And it
And
could
then let
be
people see
anything,
that.
which is what I love. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
connected to what traditionally we think genius is. Okay, so
Yeah.
after discovering your, and we'll go through them, but then I kind of have questions for each of them, so we can go back if that's okay.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
so
100%.
after discovering your genius, we have what?
Being a good human.
Ah, yes.
So this is where we ask your questions. What do you think is a good human? And then we ask you a question, why? So the question why we ask very often. And everything we ever do, there will be probably millions of why. So why did you do that? Why did you choose that? Why would you say that? Why did you think that? We like you to question and to understand your answers, why you think and why you feel certain things. Because once you understand what a good human is, you know how to embody it.
Mm,
Because many people think, well, to be good is just to be good. No, no. What does that actually mean? What does that look like? What does it feel like? Do you know what I mean? What does it taste like? To be good, what is that? And for me, to be good means to know when to step up and
okay.
to know when to back down, to know when to listen and to know when to speak,
Yeah.
to know when to act and to know when to wait.
Mm,
Now, to me, that's a great human being.
yeah. And
Just
it does. It
because,
sounds simple, but you do have to drill down a little bit more to see what it means to you. But from your definition, I love that because everyone can reach their definition of
yes,
themselves, but staying within those
that's
parameters.
it. And that's what I love. You can have more elements than I do. And that's the beautiful thing about it because what works for you is unique to you.
Yeah.
Because the way I understand things is different to other people's understanding.
Yeah.
And some people like to write an essay. I like to write one line. Do you know
Mm,
what I mean? And that's how we learn and that's how we express ourselves. So it's very important that each individual has their own understanding of what that is to them.
absolutely. And then what's the next?
Next one is teach to teach. A
Okay.
very, very vital, important point of the program. Teach to teach meaning knowledge comes in all shapes and sizes.
Mm.
If you walked into my space and you were like, Toby, I want to learn some dancing, I'm like, okay, cool. See that little 7-year-old? They're going to be teaching you. You're like, what, a 7-year-old? Like, how are they going to teach me? Well, they know the stuff you don't. So they're going to share the knowledge with you. But imagine putting a young person in the seat of sharing knowledge, the seat of sharing skills, the seat of kindness. That is the most beautiful thing I ever experienced. And I've done that many, many times in my classes. You know, I remember once, which was hilarious. We had this dude who walked in really tall. And he was like, Toby, I want to learn some moves. I was like, yeah, no problem, man. This little kid's going to teach you. And he was only 5. And he went, what? And this kid looked like a little baby to him. Do you know what I mean? The difference was humongous.
Yeah.
And he went, and you're not going to teach me? I said, yeah, I'll come around, but he's going to be teaching you. He's your teacher. And he was really shocked because he was, imagine this professional guy's going to come and teach me, you know, dance for so many years, done so many incredible things. I said, I will come around, but this little guy got knowledge too.
Yeah.
And that was the magical thing. So teach to teach is really important because as well, all the stuff we learn is knowing how to share that knowledge, knowing how to share that wisdom with others is very important.
Yeah.
Because something that was important for me is like sometimes people just point the finger and tell you what to do and how to do it. For me, it's about knowing how to teach is very important. It's knowing how to show that kindness and love when you teach and you share something, and knowing that some people will take it and some people might not, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's knowing how to teach.
And I just think that it sets you up for a shared power. So, because knowledge is power, but when you share it, that's when I think it really has
Yes.
potential to be transformational. Because if you keep stuff to yourself, is it really wisdom? Is it really knowledge? Like I think that what you know and learn should be shared so that
Yes.
more people can benefit from it.
No.
Okay, so teach,
Next one.
teach, and
Yep.
now we're transitioning to honor.
Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing the honorable thing, being honorable. The honorable thing for me is this, that sometimes if your mum's in a room, you're like behaving, and because someone's watching, what happens when they walk out the room?
Yeah.
And for me, the honorable thing is always doing the right thing, being the right person.
Yeah.
That's important. Not just because somebody's watching you and you know you might get in trouble, but being the right and good person is the honorable thing. Doing the honorable, standing up for the honorable thing all the time. It's hard, but it's beautiful when you do it.
So do you think that honor is a value or is it discipline?
It's a bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of both. It's definitely has a value because I think you have to own it. You have to go, well, this is mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that. And the discipline is I'm going to do it every time is very important. Because sometimes you go, well, not today. No, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You've made that yours. And that's a discipline where we go, no, I stand by what I said and I will honor this word. This means something to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stand by it. So honor kind of is got, both of those things.
I love that. And I feel like honor is something that's showing up in all of the pillars that it's interwoven, but I think it's important that it's a standalone as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So then that moves into your next
element.
Yes.
Courage.
Courage. Okay.
I've met so many people who are so intelligent, but never took action. I met so many people who read so many incredible books, never took action.
Yeah.
I met so many people who created some of the most beautiful artwork, yet never took action. So for me, courage is the action mode. They're doing something. And courage is kind of very important, to be brave at that moment in time, to take the step forward, to stand up for what you believe in and stand by it, no matter what.
Yeah.
Courage is the hardest one, because this is where you truly show everybody, this is me. This is what I stand for.
Do you think that courage is about being fearless, or do you think it's about being willing?
It's about taking that risk.
Yeah.
Courage is about taking the risk, taking that step all the time. That's courage. Because knowing you can do something and then doing it, it's a systematic thing where you kind of, you're good at it. Courage is like knowing it's scary and you're still going to take that.
Still do it. Yeah.
That's courage. Do you know what I mean? Knowing like your belly's going all over the place, you got butterflies, and you're like, I still have to do this. And you take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Because so many good things come on the other side of that fear that you might have, and it's Oh, I like that. Is about taking courage about taking risks.
Taking risk, yeah. Taking that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then,
The last one, which is
yeah,
a very, very important one, in the community for the community.
okay.
Meaning you have a duty and a responsibility to the community around you, and that's not a choice.
Okay, tell me more.
So for me, if I lived in an area, I would be like, okay, my neighbor down at the bottom of the flat say, I know she's older, I know she struggles going to the shop. So my duty would be if I see her, hi Sue, do you need some milk? I'm going to the shop.
Mm,
There's some kids playing around and they don't know what to do, they look a bit bored. Listen, there's a football, go and play. It's about showing that engagement for your community. It's
mm,
showing giving and kindness to your community. It's showing up for your community.
yeah.
Because in the community is for the community. So if I ever needed something, I'll have my entire community right there. Why? Because I always showed up for them.
I I like that. I'm wondering because I think there's such a nice balance in all the pillars, but I'm thinking about because you are wanting through your method people to have love of their self, know their genius. So if is success still success if it doesn't lift someone else up?
Yes, because it's all about you. You
Mm,
already lifted someone if you lifted yourself.
yeah.
Because we cannot walk if we don't know where the stars are.
Oh, I love that.
So we have to see the stars. So sometimes you have to be the star for others to,
Mm.
wow, I know which way is north.
Oh, I love
And
that. You should put that on a shirt. I can see it coming.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. But that's the principle. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to be the star for others to know where to go. So
Mm.
it is important for you to shine. It is very, very important to never dim your light, shine as bright as you can,
Yeah.
and to
Why
share
did
that energy.
community come last in your pillars?
Because community brings everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you know yourself and you know your genius and you're living by kindness and love, what you need now is a community of people.
Yeah.
But first of all, you need to do the work here.
Mm.
Once I know myself, I can help others.
Yeah.
But it's really important to know this first before we step in and start giving and doing. We need
Yeah.
to know who we are.
And it comes right back to your upbringing, your culture, what you hold so dear in your life and what's gotten you through so many things with
Yes,
your family. I love this. Okay. In these 8 pillars that you've had,
yes,
which I think can enrich anyone's life,
yes,
how do you apply that to, because you work with very specific groups of students and communities, and you
yes.
definitely, so I'm not even sure if I have a question for this, but how do they connect? How do you take these pillars and then put them into the work and the programs and what you're doing?
So the most important thing for me is about need. I'm not going to come in to your house and buy you a washing machine, a fridge, a stove when you have all that already. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not coming with prepared boxes that have to fit you. I'm coming with millions of ideas
Mm-hmm.
and see which one you like the most.
Okay.
So then you go, well, I like that one. I need this one and I need this one. Oh, and I need to work maybe on this one. And the more you learn about yourself, the more you start picking, the more
Mm.
you start choosing, and the more you can embed within yourself. So
Okay.
for me, it's about that there's a toolbox
Yes.
and we use the tools that we need, not just because we have them, because they make sense to be used.
Mm.
So sometimes when I work with people, they only need a day. Sometimes they need 5 years.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's what they needed, because it's the trauma or the hardship or the difficulty they faced. They needed so much extra love and care to be able to deal with everything that they had to deal with.
Mm.
And each group of people and organizations I work with are different.
Yeah.
For me, there's a saying from Bruce Lee, which I love this saying: be like water, my friend.
Mm.
That there, oh my God, I love that saying. Like me and my son are going to get tattooed. We're going to get both saying when he's old enough. Me and him going to get it tattooed together because we
Yeah.
both love that saying, which means be flexible. means adapt to your circumstance, adapt to your circles,
Yeah.
adapt to your community,
But
mold and
also
move and shift.
powerful. Like
Yes,
be flexible, but water is there, it's a
so powerful.
force. Yes.
So powerful, and that's what the program does. So whenever I work with schools, governments, councils, primary, secondary, university, whoever I work with, that's how we come with the program. So we have the idea, and that's the other thing, is we don't have plans. I don't believe in plans.
Yeah.
I believe in, we as a human beings, we have ideas. Why? Because we can shift and change. Plans are usually very strong, very solid, they stay there. So
Yeah.
plans are for buildings. So for me, if someone says I've got a plan, okay, they're going to stay there forever, because that's the plan.
Yeah.
An idea means we're happy to shift and move and adapt as much as we have to, which gives people freedom to grow.
Yeah. I've had to have like be okay with having a plan for a plan, like an idea, a structure, knowing that I might come along and find something that adds to my structure, or feel like I
Yes,
need to take away from my structure, or
yes,
sometime my structure might need something in the same exact kind of situation somewhere else might need something
yes,
completely different. So being okay with being flexible makes such, but it goes back to your point about this being a toolkit, right? So
yes.
sometimes you have to draw on what you need in that moment. But if you
Mm.
have all these tools in your toolkit, you're able to do so.
Yes, 100%. And the most magical thing for me is sometimes I only get to use what I have around me.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful, because it's so hard, because you're so limited for what you can do, but still you can do it and pull it off. Is one of the most incredible things.
And it comes back to what you were saying about community, what's around
Yes,
you, what you can pull on, right?
yes,
I absolutely. So, okay, you work with individuals, you work with companies.
yes.
Who do you, because I'm sure people are listening and they're just like, how can we get some more of Toby in our lives? So
Yeah.
what does that what does that
So,
look like in
so for
practice?
me, so for me in practice, the main thing I do, I bring in culture. So I
Mm,
create cultures within systems, within organizations, and that, if that's education, government, business, corporate, it's about building healthy cultures.
mm,
Building healthy cultures where people can work better, learn better, communicate better, live better within a community. So I work in all different aspects. But the main thing, what we do, we give people culture where everyone understands how we live and how we work and how we behave and how we do things to
mm,
work together, to
yeah.
build this ethos of kindness and love. So then everyone understands we're here to support each other.
Mm,
That's the key thing. So within organizations is about teamwork, communication, but real teamwork and real communication. Not I'm going to send you an email. I'm going to walk over and say, listen, I've got an issue here. Can you help me out? Yeah, no problem. I'll get back to you in 5 minutes. And it gets done. Sometimes you send an email and 2 weeks later they answer you, but the problem is fixed a week ago.
yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So for me, it's about real communication. Going back to the old school stuff, real connections.
Yeah. But I think what makes the work that you're doing so authentic is that it comes from a place that you're practicing that. So I know that you talk about community in such a powerful way. You
Yeah,
talk about your values, but this all starts at home for you. And so I really wanted to wrap things up with our
yeah,
conversation about, you talk so much about your wife, your family, how they
yeah,
make it that they're the reason why you're able to do, and your grounding force. So um,
100%.
tell me, tell me
And
about your
I
wife and your
love what you
family.
just said. I love what you said. Let's everything starts at home.
Yeah.
And that's the most beautiful thing I could ever say to anyone. So whenever I work with people, especially individuals, they go, yeah, but Toby, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I'm doing this. I said, yeah, what are you doing at home?
Yeah.
Because that's where everything starts. And I'm very blessed. You know, I'm a father of 6, granddad to one, and another one on the way. So I'm very super blessed, super blessed. And with my family, one of the things we've learned was that we get to educate and train our children how we want them to be, or we give them the opportunity to grow in a certain way. And
Mm,
what we say and what we show them is what they have as an example. So it's really important to be the right example, to
yeah.
be what you say. I've met many people that say one thing and then do another. And I've met plenty of other people who don't know how to manage what they're going through. And
Yeah.
then it comes out within the children. So
Mm,
for me, it's this whole confusion when I was growing up was this. Someone walks in a room and you're a little child and you're running around going crazy, and they shout at you for shouting, saying, can you stop shouting?
yes.
And me as a child, I'm confused, because then you
Like,
just shout.
You're yelling at me.
You see what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense. So I remember growing up as a child, for me, it was important to show the right example.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To have that calm voice because I wanted a calm space. So I
Mm,
come calmly to the space to bring that energy.
yeah.
And I think for me, everything starts at home. So for me, with my family, my wife, my kids, it's where I regenerate, recharge every single day. It's a
Mm,
beautiful space. So whenever I finish work, come home, the first thing, my wife is waiting at the door for me.
yeah.
A kiss and a hug is one of my most important things. I want to be welcomed when I come home. I want to be loved when I come home. And then it's my kids. Dad, so what did you do? And we'll talk for like an hour. But now, what did you do? What happened? What did they say? Oh my God, how did they react? And they're so interested, which I love that my kids show me so much love and appreciation for my work. Because some parents, and I do understand, they come home, they're tired, they're drained, then they got to see to the kids, and the last thing they want to talk about is work.
Yeah.
But sometimes kids are so interested. So, mommy, daddy, what do you do?
Mm,
Sometimes we don't share those little moments for them because that gives them a point of view of what my parents do.
yeah.
Because I remember me going to school when I was little, and then they said, "So, what does your mum do?"
Mm,
My mum cleans.
yeah.
That was it. That's all I knew. I see my mum cleaning and cooking. That was it. But my mum did millions of other
I was
things.
like, meanwhile, she's keeping your life functioning.
Yes, yes. Do you know what I mean?
What
So
did
that
your family give you that the world can't?
unconditional love,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody else has conditions.
Yeah.
And the unconditional love is the most beautiful thing when you get to be you, weird, quirky, annoying, whatever you want to be. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Happy, bubbly, crazy. They'll just love that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the most beautiful thing is when you can receive that love, that unconditional love. It's one of the most incredible things in the world. And that's something I love about my job too. I get to do that for other people.
Yeah.
I literally give people this unconditional love. I don't have conditions on it. You do you and show me you. That's all I want. But
Mm-hmm.
be the real you. Just let me see that person.
Yeah.
And I'll love that person who you are.
Ah.
And that is so important to receive that unconditional love. And especially for me as a man, it's a very important thing. Because I know
Mm,
from our old school upbringing, men have responsibilities. We have duties. We have things we have to do. And if you don't do them, you're not loved. If you
mm,
don't deliver, you're not appreciated.
yeah.
And it's that kind of thing where I've seen it in my families and everyone else I worked with that when kids come along, they're like, we're just unconditional love because our babies are, oh.
Yeah.
But then the husband got to be like, well, you got to earn that. And one of the things I love is that I get to be me and I'm just loved to be me without having to prove, having to do, oh,
Yeah.
well, if you don't fix that, you're not going to get no love. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of unconditional love that families can give you. And that's
Mm.
something we give to each other. For my wife and my kids, it's this whole appreciation just for who they are as a person
Yeah.
before they do anything else.
We talked about it before. It's about mattering. Knowing that you give value to someone
Yeah.
else by being here and being present, and that they give value back to you by being around you as well.
And just being. Do you know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing. Just be nothing else.
Yeah.
I don't
Being your
need you to. Do
authentic
you
self.
know what I mean? Yes, yes. That's the beautiful thing because there was one amazing thing that happened between me and my wife because a lot of people in my life needed me
Hmm.
to do things, organize things, make things, build things, help things, get things because I was so good at stuff.
Yeah.
But the most beautiful thing my wife said to me was, "I don't need you, but I want you in my life."
Oh, yes.
I'll tell you what, that melted me. That was like the most beautiful thing anyone could. But when she said it first, I was like, I don't need you. I was a bit like, what? What were you saying? What were you trying to say? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then she said, but I want you in my life.
Yeah.
And that was very important to me.
It's so important. My friend at her wedding, in her wedding vows, she told her husband, she was like, she's like, she's like, it's not that I love you, but I like you. Like,
Yes.
I want,
Yes.
like, I love you. We know this, but I like
Yes.
you. I want you around.
Yes.
And that was so powerful to me. Listen, Toby, you're giving me gifts that you did not realize you were giving me. So
Yes.
I am I had made the decision that I was probably needing to be in another space
Yeah.
and thought that I was going to be a certain place, and that's not working out.
Yeah.
And so I've decided that I'm going back home for a bit to the States and just trying to figure out and regroup. And I've
Yes.
really not been happy about it, if I'm going to be completely
Mm.
honest. Now,
Yes.
am I happy about, like, I get to spend more time with my nieces? Yes. Am I happy? But I wasn't like feeling excited. And my best friend told me, she's like, Joy, my ancestors are telling me that you just need to be home and be grounded for a bit. But as you're talking, I'm just like, you know what, Joy, this is a gift because there's stuff that as much as I love my family and as much as they can drive me up the wall,
Yeah.
they are the ones who know me, who can support me in the best
Mm,
way. And
yes.
I need to humble myself and remind myself that there's reasons why things happen like this in life and that they can give to me what no one else on this planet can give me. So thank you
100%.
for that.
No,
Thank
100%. That is beautiful. No, I'm really glad
you.
for you to have that because it's an important thing. And like I said, I'm very blessed. I get to reset every day. Every
Yeah.
day, my kids are here. My wife is here. I'm blessed. Do you know what I mean? That I've got all my
Mhm.
kids around me. Don't know what I would feel like if I was somewhere out there in the world on my own. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'll have to come home and be with my family. It's important to me. But I think, again, depends on the person. But I think recharging, resetting, restarting, just breathing within that space of love is
Yeah.
beautiful.
And it just goes back to, I mean, just I promise you and promise myself that yes, this, I focus on neurodiversity, but why I didn't want to really focus on that explicitly with you today is because I think what you're speaking about, what your method does, like just by being it appeals to the work that I want to do with
Yeah.
neurodivergence. But neurodiversity as a whole is everyone. So neurotypical, neurodivergent, what have you, right?
Yes.
If you are implementing these pillars,
Yeah.
you're unstoppable, right? Like there's
That's
so
it.
many, like, and you're
That's
so grounded in yourself.
because what you're doing, you're learning about yourself. So if
Yeah.
you are neurodivergent, what you will go, well, I am. And then suddenly you're proud of it. It's not a bad thing, it's a great thing
It's who
because
you
you see the
are.
world in a way that others might not. So
Yeah.
you will discover, build, and make things differently to the world. And you could be
Mhm.
the key to the next revolution of something
Yeah.
because you're seeing it in a different point of view. And lots of times we
Mhm.
need people to see it from the outside
Yeah.
because we're too stuck inside. Do you know what I mean? So for me, this is the most magical, beautiful thing to be able to do something differently.
And so simple, but so incredibly powerful.
Yes.
But honestly, I'm not sure if there's anyone else in this world that could have brought it in the way that you have. So I'm so grateful to you, to your work, to your family for helping you be the person that you are to bring
Yeah.
this to the world. And I can only imagine that as people are listening to this, and I really, really, truly hope that as people are listening to this, that they will come and find you. So can we make it a little bit easier for people to find you?
Yes, you can
Okay.
find me online, and my website is tobygorniakmbe.com. You can find me on any social media platform, Toby Gorniak MBE. If it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I mean, any platform you can find me, and I'm really accessible. People pop me a message, I'm always up for a chat
Oh,
because
absolutely.
connection is really important.
I mean, when I reached out to you, I was like, okay, let me connect. Let me send. And then I got a message back, and I was like, he is the most down to earth. I feel like I have known him for years.
Yeah,
Literally, I was like, I have an opening that happened to come up, like, but we'd have to record this week and plan this week. And Toby was like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
let's go.
Thank
Yes,
you.
do you know what I mean? And that's the
So-
beautiful thing about life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I work with many people that are like, yeah, Toby, let me get back to you. I'm like, it takes you 5 minutes. Come on, let me know
yeah.
now. Let's roll. Let's go. And I think that's the thing about me. I'm excited about life, and I'm very blessed because of my incredible wife and my kids, especially my wife. She allows me to live in 24 hours. She
Yeah.
just tells me, "Wait, babes, this is what you're doing in 24 hours."
Mm,
Because one thing I've learned, I've lost someone in my life very close to me, a dear friend of mine, and they taught me a vital lesson. We're here today.
yeah.
What you have today, enjoy today. So I'm going to love like it's my first and love like it's my last.
Mm,
Enjoy like it's my first and enjoy like my last.
yeah.
It's just everything in the moment. Be here, be right now. Not like, oh, I got to do this next. I'm right here, right now with joy, enjoying this beautiful space.
Absolutely. So typically, well, one, let me back up. I'll make sure that we drop everything into the show notes so people can find you because I truly
Yeah.
want everyone to. And then I'll make sure that I give little updates on you every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I do that on my social media or what have you, because I really want to spread the work that you're doing. And
Thank you.
so thank you for coming on and allowing me to do so. But typically at this point in the show, I ask people what joy has neurodiversity brought into your life, but I'm not going to do that with you today, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I want to change your question a little bit and just ask you, what has honoring difference brought into your life?
Whew. Lots and lots of incredible things. I think the
Mm-hmm.
main thing is this: to know that each person and each human being is different,
Mm-hmm.
and to love that difference. For even if we agree to disagree,
Yeah.
I love that there's a difference. I love that there's a debate. I love that there is a conversation. For me, meeting the people I've met in my life has been one of the most incredible things. Without judgment, without any barriers, just loving them and seeing them for who they are.
Yeah.
And to see the quirkiness and difference, it just encourages me more to be me,
Yeah.
because the uniqueness is what makes us special. And to be able to have that, and especially like me and my wife, we're so different, but we're so alike. And I love every little bit about everything that she is.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful. And I give that to everybody else I work with, that kind of love and that respect and appreciation. So for me,
Mhm.
it's this: without it, it would be a very boring, grey world that we would live in.
Absolutely. Difference is what makes this world goes around, what makes it spicy, right?
Yes.
I love when you were saying, you're like, Joy, my wife is blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yes.
You know, but when you see pictures of her, because after I
Yes.
talked to you, of course, I went and stalked you a little bit. Her joy and happiness and just
Oh,
zest for life just jumps off the page at you.
her energy, she is beautiful. Not
Yeah,
only outside, but inside. She's just a beautiful
yeah.
human being. Yeah,
Well, tell
definitely.
her she's welcome to come on the podcast anytime she
She would love
wants.
to. She would love to, 100%.
Oh, good. Well, Toby, thank you so much for sharing your story, your culture, your pillars, your heart, just your energy with us today. This felt like this hour just flew by.
That's what it feels like when you're having fun. It
Yeah,
just goes so fast.
absolutely. And I'm just hoping that to the audience that this conversation resonated with you, that it challenged you to look at things a little bit different, to help yourself to love yourself, to share the knowledge that you had. So another thing you can do is share this episode so that more people can
Yeah.
can hear from Toby and what he's doing, because conversations like this really matters. Toby, thank you again for being on the podcast. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next episode of The Joy of Neurodiversity. Bye.
Thank you. Peace and love. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that's a wrap for this episode of The Joy of Neurodiversity. I hope today's conversation left you feeling inspired, empowered, and seen. Remember, neurodiversity isn't something to fix, it's something to celebrate. If you loved this episode, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave a review. It truly helps more people find this space of understanding and joy. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. And let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on Instagram at The Joy of Neurodiversity and LinkedIn at Joy Buckner, and share your thoughts using the hashtag The Joy of Neurodiversity. New episodes drop every other Thursday, so be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next dose of neurospicy brilliance, deep dives, and empowering conversations. Until next time, embrace who you are, celebrate how you think, and keep rewriting the narrative, because the world needs your brilliance. Think big, be bold, and never dim your neurodivergent spark, because we were never meant to fit in.